is an Oscar conversation without talking about what we thought were the snubs?
Dun, dun, dun.
Now, first of all, I should say this. I bring this up every year. The word snub is far overused and abused and not properly used. Maybe more than any other term in the film fans' vocabulary. Because to me, snub is a hard term. And it should only be applied, in my opinion, should only truly be applied when something that you believe had a legit shot of winning didn't even end up getting nominated. Like that is a snub. I think of the year, why am I freezing on the name of the horror with Toni Collette?
Heretic.
Heretic.
Not Heretic.
No, not
Heretic.
not Hereditary.
Hereditary.
Oh,
Yeah.
it was Hereditary, right.
Yeah, Hereditary.
Like, I thought that year there was a really solid chance that we had our Oscar winner.
Oh, yeah,
that she was going to be standing there on the stage
unbelievable.
holding the Oscar, and then she didn't even get nominated. Like, we talk about, I would have liked to have seen Weapons get a Best Picture nomination, but I ain't going to call it a snub because
No.
it had no chance in hell of ever winning. So I don't call that a snub. I think we overuse the term snub. But, of course, the Oscar nominations come out, so we got to talk about snubs. Deadline put out a pretty interesting article running down what they would consider their snubs, their big surprises, and I thought we'd run down through them. The first one they mention, and I got to admit, I'm kind of surprised she didn't get a nomination. Ariana Grande. I would, honestly, as much as I didn't really like Wicked for Good, her performance in it was really quite spectacular.
Yeah,
She was really good.
She's a really good actress.
And I'm kind of surprised that she didn't end up getting nominated. As a matter of fact, Rob, here's an interesting thing. Wicked for Good, which I believe last year got 10 nominations, winning 2 Academy Awards. Wicked for Good got shut out. Not a single nomination. As a matter of fact, last year, it won the Academy Awards for Best Production Design and Best Costume Design.
Yeah, Paul Tazewell.
This year, didn't get nominated in either category. 10 nominations last year, Zippo this year. I really thought Ariana Grande, even though I'm not particularly taken with the movie itself, I really thought Ariana Grande would get one of those Best Supporting Actress things. So I think it's interesting the Deadline brings that one up. And then I think it's, by extension, it's interesting that Wicked for Good got no nominations this year. And again, I have no issue with that. Also, they list as a snub Guillermo del Toro with all those nominations that Frankenstein got. Not one for Best Director. They write, Guillermo del Toro, the Epis voters seem to love Netflix's Frankenstein, and yet not the past Oscar winners whose vision and directing brought it to life. Now, Rob, this brings up a conversation we had every year. Because every year, inevitably, there's a director that doesn't get directed, that doesn't get nominated, but their movie did. And somebody goes, well, did that movie just direct itself? But this is the reality we live in now, where we have 10 nominees for Best Picture, but only 5 nominees for Best Director, which means every year we're going to get 5 movies that get nominated for Best Picture whose director, and this year was Guillermo del Toro. And I'll tell you what, I really did think Guillermo del Toro was good. I'm not going to call it a snub because I don't think he had any chance in hell of winning this year, but I did think he was going to get one of those nominations. What did you think about that?
Well, I did too, but always remember, John, I always go back to Jaws. Jaws was nominated for Best Picture, but Steven Spielberg was not nominated for Best Director. And there's a great moment in a documentary on the Maniac physical media of somehow Joe Spinell, who played Maniac, who was in The Godfather, Taxi Driver, New York character actor. He was somehow in the room with Spielberg when they were watching the nominations come out. And Joe Spinell says something to the effect of what? They think someone's mother directed that movie? You know, it's something like that. And yeah, it's kind of a bummer. But you know what? Guillermo will come back. Look, Shape of Water, Shape of Water won Best Picture.
Yep, and he's got his Oscars already, and he'll be back again.
He'll come back.
All right, some of the other things that the Deadline article points out as being some of the notable absences. Smashing Machine, not just for Dwayne Johnson. You know, there was some buzz
There was a lot of, yeah.
that this is going to be the year that Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson is going to get an Academy Award nomination. Now, he did not, and he didn't deserve it. But don't let that distract you from the fact that this is 2025 was the year that Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson literally turned in one of the best performances of the year.
Yeah.
Who would have ever thought we would ever say those words? It wasn't top 5, and I don't think it deserved any of the actual nominated actors should be bumped out to make room for him. But he turned in legitimately one of the top 10 best performances of the year. Never thought that would happen. And ultimately, its awards aspirations kind of fizzled out as the months passed. And Smashing Machine really didn't get much other than a makeup and hairstyling nomination is what it got. Which, by the way, deserved that. It deserves that nomination. Chase Infinity did not get nominated for One Battle After Another. And a lot of people kind of felt like she was the heart and soul of that movie.
She was great.
Really. And she was great, but you know what? I'm not going to call it a snub. She was really good. But I don't necessarily feel strongly that it was Oscar worthy. But let's keep an eye on her because she's going to be great. Paul Mescal. I've said this before. I have never been sold on Paul Mescal as an actor. I've always thought he's been a little bit overrated until I saw Hamnet. And while he may be overshadowed a little bit by his co-star in it, Paul Mescal was flat out brilliant. And I would have guessed he would have gotten a nomination. Again, I wouldn't be in the running to win, but I would have guessed he would have been one of the nominees, and he didn't get it. So that was a little bit interesting. No Other Choice, Park Chan-wook's movie with a guy who's just popping up everywhere these days in Lee Byung-hun. I thought it was a really good movie. I'm not losing over sleep that it didn't get any nominations. No. To be honest with you. Like, again, it's a really good movie. It's kind of dark. It's got that dark comedy to it as well. But I'm okay that it didn't get any nominations. A lot of people surprised Miley Cyrus did not get nominated for her. Like, the whole reason I think she did that end song for Avatar: Fire and Ash, because she saw herself standing on the stage winning an Oscar, and she didn't even get nominated for it. It's fine. She was never going to win in a year that K-pop Demon Hunter's Golden, which is the #1 song on the entire planet. So
right.
But still, a lot of people thought she was. Joel Edgerton didn't get any love for Train Dreams. Again, not really surprised. Then they go into their surprises. F1. Remember, guys, I told you the other day it was going to get one of those nominations. It's just one of those films. Like Rob said, it's old school Hollywood. It's the thrills. It's the immersion. It's the excitement. It's you got a larger than life big screen hero and Brad Pitt in it. It won. So a lot of people consider that a big surprise. Stellan Skarsgård getting his nomination for Best Supporting Actor. Some people, I think it's a foregone conclusion that Jacob Elordi is going to get it, but a lot of people think it's going to be Stellan Skarsgård, which, by the way, if you haven't seen Sentimental Value, it might be, as an ensemble, the best overall performances as an ensemble out of any movie this year, and he was a big part of it. They also, big surprise, Delroy Lindo. And Rob, I know you're really happy about this one.
I really am.
What in particular about it makes it like you particularly happy about this?
Well, because Delroy Lindo he's got a great look. He's a very distinct looking actor, but I'm a big voice person.
Oh, he's got such a great voice.
His voice. And even when he shows up like in a small role, they're finally releasing The Devil's Advocate, the Al Pacino, Keanu Reeves movie that Taylor Hackford directed. He has a small role in it where he plays like a voodoo priest that's on trial and he gets to practice his religion. Even in that, he's awesome. And and to see an actor who has turned in wonderful, he's not always the leading man, but he has turned in one great performance after another. That dude has never phoned it in, and he's been working for years. And somebody finally noticed and said, you know what? That guy's one of our greatest actors. And I just love seeing him get it, especially for this movie.
Yeah.
Well deserved.
Again, I don't think he has any chance to win, but I just love that he's getting the recognition.
I saw somebody recently, I don't remember who it was, some celebrity went up to him at some red carpet event and said, "Your performance in Sinners reminded me of my uncle," or somebody. And this person, I don't know who said this, and the person was, Delroy Lindo was taken aback, and he said, that's the best thing you could have said to me. and people, you believe him. You always believe I just love Delroy Lindo.
Oh.
He's the best.
Let me throw it over to you, Rob. Like, whether it's one of the ones that we just saw listed off here in the Deadline article, or maybe a different one altogether, is there a particular omission from any of the nominees that particularly stands out to you?
I don't think so, because it's not like something was omitted and something else got it that wasn't worthy. You know, Wicked for Good. Look, once you've seen Wicked, it's not like the Lord of the Rings movies where each movie is very different. It was one movie. So I think that getting nominations and winning things like Paul Tazewell's amazing costume design that he won the Oscar for last year, it's not like anything changed, but they already awarded that film. You know, so I don't see that so much as an omission. It's just, it was one part of the same movie. But I think this year, I really like how all the categories really represented a lot of what was going on. I didn't see a lot of movies omitted, and people across the board. The fact that Amy Madigan did get nominated for Weapons.
Yeah.
You know, and that's important that somebody didn't overlook. I mean, she's basically playing a witch, a crazy Raggedy Ann witch. And that, you know, the Academy could have said, well, we don't usually nominate. Once upon a time, you know, maybe a Joaquin Phoenix will get a playing Joker and get it, or Heath Ledger. But it was pretty dope that Amy Madigan, and if she wins, I'm going to be cheering for that. Yeah, because you go, Zach Kreger, for writing that role, and you go even harder because you cast Amy Madigan in that role, which took foresight, and that was awesome. Because I don't think a lot of people would have thought to do that. I bet Zach Kreger did it because that's what he wanted to do, and I bet he knew he was going to do that from the beginning. And I love Amy Madigan.
She's so good in it. Anyway, guys, that
it was just like the 60s.
Is kind of our wrap up of talking about the second biggest day in the movie calendar year, which is Oscar nomination day. They came out, and listen, while we can sit here and nitpick about who should have gotten the 4th spot on this, or which movie should have gotten the 9th spot on this, I feel pretty good in saying, basically speaking, the Academy got it right. We can nitpick about a few little things here and there, but there's no huge obvious omissions. Like, again, I might have slotted Weapons into that number 10 or number 9 spot, but at that point, it's not really impactful. I really feel like they basically got it right this year, even with a few little surprises. Anyway, guys, question is for you. What do you think about this? Are there any big omissions to you that you think are just crazy that such and such didn't get a nomination or anything like that? Whatever you guys think, jump down into the comments section below and let us know your thoughts. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Make sure you like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe to our channel. And don't forget, we have a daily podcast called the John Campea Show podcast, available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcasting app of choice. Go and subscribe to it today so it'll be there when you need it.